Well, this is a dramatic news, isn't it, out of Westminster, if we're now going to have all three party leaders in Scotland. Does this smack of more panic?
Well, yes, of course it does. It reveals, really, the degree of anxiety there is amongst Westminster party leaders that Scotland is about to vote, not just to go her own way, but to break up the United Kingdom, to end Britain as we know it. Now, the decision was taken, I'm told, by David Cameron and Ed Miliband when they met to discuss the Scottish referendum straight after the common statement on the NATO summit yesterday afternoon. But for people who think, well, so what? It's just like, you know, missing a day in the office. It is more important than that. One of the key constitutional duties of a Prime Minister is to face questions in the House of the Commons. One of the key duties of a leader of the opposition is to lead that questioning. For them to voluntarily give that up in agreement with Nick Clegg, the leader of the Labour Party, in order to head to Scotland, is pretty dramatic and shows just how concerned they are.
Well, they're not going to appear together, which perhaps isn't altogether surprising. So what message are they each going to give to Scottish voters? I mean, will they differ in that sense?
Boiled down, it's the message in their joint statement, Joe. We want you to stay. This is modelled, I think, on what was used by pro-Canadian campaigners in the Quebec referendum. Remember, those of you that know this, that what happened in Quebec is just as in Scotland, the yes side pulled ahead. There was a panic that Canada might be broken up. And one of the things that is said to have pulled that back in a very, very narrow victory in that referendum for the No campaign is the statement coming from the rest of Canada, in this case the rest of the UK, that we want you to stay. That's why, for example, you're seeing Ed Miliband saying that the saltire would be raised in Liverpool along with the leader of the City Council. That's why the saltire will be flown over Downing Street later today. That's why there will be an encouragement by all the political parties to their members and supporters, and no doubt to people who run town halls throughout England, Wales and Northern Ireland. Please fly the flag to show that you want Scotland to stay.
And this, of course, after headlines today saying Gordon Brown, a former Prime Minister, was going to save the Union and save the day.
Yeah, in a sense, what was vital for them about yesterday is the fight back was led by a Scot in Scotland and by Labour. So some people thought that Gordon Brown had stolen the Tories' thunder or stolen a government announcement. It wasn't as simple as that. These unionist parties have been talking with each other for quite a long time. I think what was true is that Gordon Brown said, I'm the guy who can do this now. David Cameron is seen as too English and too Tory. Ed Miliband's trust ratings in the latest Scottish poll are as bad as David Cameron's, which is pretty remarkable given that he's the leader of the Labour Party. Alistair Darling got a bloody nose from Alex Salmond recently, and therefore the view was this must be seen and seen to be a Labour initiative. I mean, could you count the number of times they told you it was a Labour initiative yesterday? In virtually every sentence. But in truth, it had been coordinated behind the scenes with all the parties.